Thank you for tuning in. Thanks for being part of our program. I'm going to start this hour off by telling you a story that would be even better if I could tell you the names of the people involved. But I can't, because it's a litigious society. And the minute I say this on the air, all three parties will deny it, and then they'll threaten to sue me, and then, then I'll be involved in another frivolous lawsuit. So, let me just do it this way. This is a story about three people. Two of them are very well known. One of them was well known at one time. All right? Let's just say one of them was female, and she worked in the radio business. And let's just say the other two were famous musicians. You'd know their names, and you'd know the name of the band they were in. That's all I'm going to say. One day, I came to the radio station, and said radio personality was sitting in there with these two. And I thought she was doing an interview. I thought the disc jockey was interviewing these two famous musicians. So I'm in the radio station doing my work, and I kept looking into the studio, and the radio show continued. It was one song after another, occasionally talking between the songs. But at no time did the two musicians appear on the air. They just sat there. I'm a dope. The next thing I'm thinking is, they're fans of the show. I have fans on my show. People want to come down and watch. I've had celebrities come down and watch me who are fans of what I do. I can't tell you how many people in the movie business or the music business have come to me and said, God damn, I'd love to do what you do. I'd love to be in there doing what you do. Your job must be so much goddamn fun. Shows how stupid these people are. So I'm thinking, okay, I was wrong. They're not there to be interviewed. These two guys are there because they listen to the radio station and they're fans of this particular radio show. So these two guys are sitting with the female disc jockey, just watching her work because they're fans. So somebody else came into the radio station, and I said, oh, look, there's X, and she's in there with Y and Z. And I guess they must be fans of hers. And the other person at the station said to me, oh, don't you know what's going on there? She's dating both of them. I said, she's dating both of them? All right, I'll buy that. She's dating both of them, but they're both sitting there. Like, she could date one on Monday and one on Tuesday, right? And not tell each one about the other. I mean, we've all had social lives where you date one person on Monday and another on Tuesday, and maybe a third one on Wednesday. You're dating various people. You have a social life. And the guy I'm talking to says, oh, no. Each one knows about the other. They share her. And I'm like, what do you mean? How does that work? They're just all cool with it, that's all. She dates both of them. I said, at the same time? Well, not on the same night. They don't have threesomes or anything like that. It's separate, but everybody is aware of the deal. And it was made really clear to me, here is what the deal was. This female would date each one of these guys separately, but they each knew that the other was dating her. And by dating her, I mean dating equals porking. All of these people were having sex, okay? The two guys are not having sex with each other, that I know of. But each of these guys was having sex with this chick at different times, and everybody was cool with it. Now, I have dated people who I know have social lives, okay? And by the way, I've dated people when I've had a social life, you know. So I have been with people, you go out, I don't know, you go to a movie, you have a drink or something, and then you have sex. And you're not in love, and the other person's not in love, and if the other person isn't dating other people, well, I know I am, and I'm cool with this because I haven't told anybody it's a monogamous relationship. I'm with one night, one another night, but I have never in my life dated anybody where I knew the other guys who were dating her too, and we were all dating her, and we were all cool with it. Usually the only way people are cool with this is if you don't know who the other people are. I have been to women's apartments that I've dated, and they have gone to extraordinary lengths to hide any evidence that another guy had been in the apartment or in the house that week. I mean cleaning up cigarette butts or roaches out of the ashtray or cleaning up pieces of paper or whatever. They've gone to extraordinary lengths to make sure it doesn't look like another guy had been there. And by the way, what have I done? If I had a chick over at my place I'll never forget, I had a chick at my place one time. It was the wrong time of the month. And I did not have enough spray and wash in the place, okay, because I was having another chick over the next night. And I had to clean up the sheet and the mattress pad. And, I mean, this woman had no problem any of the 28 days of the month. She was okay. She was good to go. But that meant laundry. And boy, did I have laundry to do. And I'll never forget, I was frantically trying to clean my sheets and my mattress pad and my mattress before chick number 2 arrived the following night. I did not want the first chick to have any clue about, I didn't want the second chick to have any clue about what the first chick had done or that she'd even been there. Usually when we date various people, even if we don't claim to be monogamous, we try to clean up any evidence of the other people around. One time, literally, I'll tell you another story about this. One time, I took a chick out to dinner. She got in my car. And in the front seat of my car, she found a black bra sitting there on the front seat of my car. And she, like, holds it up by the strap and says, "What's this?" And I'm like, it's none of your goddamn business. But you know what? I didn't leave it there intentionally. It's just that, you know, I couldn't see in the dark, and there was a black bra sitting in my car. I had no idea. She wouldn't shut up about it. That happens sometimes. Most of the time, though, when we are dating more than one person, we don't want the other people to know. We don't want them to know the details. We don't want them to know about why we date them or how they are in bed or what advantages one has over the other. We just kind of, you know, we date various people. We keep them all separate. You don't want to run into the other people at a bar or at a party. I tend to take people to different places all the time so that I don't run into the same people. There's certain people I take certain places where I am not likely to run into the others. That's the way I am. You know, there are chicks I have who are, you know, more professional, make a little more money. They go to nicer places. Chicks who like to wear T-shirts and jeans and like to drink a couple of shots, they go to certain other places. These chicks never run into each other. That's the way it works. So, excuse me if I'm amazed when I see these 3 people, one chick and 2 guys, and the 2 guys, they work together. They're friends. They're both dating the chick. They both know that they're both dating the chick. How much, and by the way, you couldn't ask, because you weren't supposed to know. I would love to have asked these guys, how much do you know about when the other 2 are out? Do you know, like, what they do in bed? Do you know, like, what it's like? Does she prefer one of you over the other? Did any of you ever try to get this into a threesome or something? I mean, did any of you ever... I'm dumbfounded. No matter how many... there are times in my life I've been dating 12 different chicks in a given month. You know, I mean, it could be double shifting. It could be, 5 in one week and 7 in the next. It could, I've done that. But at no time did I have 2 chicks who were like best friends, and I was dating both of them, and each of them knew. There was one time, I will tell you, this is true, and I've told this story on the air a long time ago. There was one time I was dating a chick, And I'll be honest, this chick was married. No, not that one, Dee. This chick was married, but she was living in L.A., and her husband was going to school in another state. And she was getting awfully lonely because she was here in L.A. in an apartment without her husband. And, you know, she's talking to me about, like, oh, I make a great friend, blah, blah, blah. But one night she had enough Bloody Marys, and suddenly I had her in the backseat of my car. This woman had the most amazing breasts. It was unbelievable. Just amazing. And she had a best friend who was her roommate. And her roommate was engaged. So one time, said woman, the woman I was stooping, who was married, she leaves town to go visit her husband. This is an absolutely true story. This happened in Hollywood, California. She leaves town to visit her husband, who's in another state going to school. She's out there listening. She knows who she is. Okay. Anyway, I get a call from the roommate. The roommate who is engaged. And the roommate just tells me that, first of all, her friend wanted me to know that she had to leave town to see her husband. I said, okay, that's fine. And she's like, so what are you doing? I'm like, I don't know. Saturday evening, it was summertime, 6:30, sun was out, I'm kind of hanging out. She's like, why don't you come over? Well, why don't you come over pretty soon turned into her telling me that she was wearing no underwear, and that if I come over, she will meet me at the front door wearing nothing but a skirt. This is her best friend. I came over there, and God damn it, there she was, 24, Mexican, unbelievable, and her skirt was off in about 3 seconds. And there we were, we just went at it on the living room floor. And when we were done, she said to me about her friend, just please don't tell her about this. That's all I ask. I won't say anything. Please don't tell her anything. So you see, that happens. I mean, if we did a show about that, we'd get calls for the next 20 days. We could just sit on the air 24 hours a day. People would call in and say they've been with their girlfriend's best friend, whatever. There's a lot of those stories, okay? And we've done that as a show, and we'll do it again sometime, and I understand. But that's an example of when you're dating two chicks who know each other. That's as close as it gets, okay? The other one's out of town, and the best friend says, come on over, and there we were on the floor of the place. Okay. All right. But how about if these two girls, all right, they're best friends, what if they both live in the apartment? What if one invites me over, and then I come over and she says, look, I'm busy tonight. Why don't you go out with my best friend here? And I end up stooping her best friend, and she's cool with it. I can't even imagine that. I can't even imagine that happening. Because I always see women as being territorial. Now, maybe this only happens with one girl and two guys. I don't know. But I'm wondering, have you ever shared a girlfriend or a boyfriend? Ever shared them? Like, knowingly? I'm not talking about cheating. Knowingly. You're dating somebody, and then you're also dating their friend. I've got to know. 1-800-5800-TOM.
From what I gather, you're saying they're sluts if they sleep with you and they're bitches if they don't.
Yes, actually, that comes from the Tom Leykis glossary.
The Tom Leykis Show.
Tom Leykis Show. 1-800-5800-TOM is our telephone number. This is Brian on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Hey, Dad, how's it going?
I'm doing okay, son.
Hey, yeah, I was just listening to what you're talking about, and back when I was 19, 20, I used to do a pair of best friends.
You used to do a pair of best friends. Now,
Yes,
were you
sir.
dating one of them first?
Yeah, I was dating one of them first for about a month or so, and you know, nothing serious.
I mean, I'd love to know how this works, because you know what? I think a lot of guys out there would like to know how to work a situation like this.
Oh, treat them just like you say, Dad.
Really?
And it works great.
So you've got the one girl that you're dating, and who introduced the idea of you dating her friend?
Well, actually, her friend kind of came over and introduced it to me, and started kind of dating her friend for a while,
But when you at first, the first girl did not know about the second girl?
No. Well, when I actually hooked up with the first girl, I almost hooked up with them both at the same time, but didn't know the other one was as interested. She was there, you know, but we went in the back room and did our thing, but she was there ready to go, too. I just didn't realize it.
All right.
Young and dumb, but...
All right. All right, so when you started dating the second girl, when did the first girl find out about that?
Probably a week later, both of them came over and confronted me about it, and we went in the back bedroom and worked it all out.
Worked it all in the bedroom?
Oh, yeah.
So after that, were you dating the two of them separately?
Separately and together.
And together?
Yep. Yeah,
Really?
one of them lived down by me, and I would go over to her house whenever I was interested and picked her up, and we'd go do our thing, and I'd drop her off, and the other one would come down from Seattle and visit for a couple days out of the week.
And they were all cool with it?
All cool with it.
So if one of them couldn't make it, that was okay?
It was all good.
Wow. Wow, wow, wow. So how did it end?
I don't know, just kind of wore off after a while, and I kind of moved on to the next project.
And they were okay with that? They weren't, like, trying to keep you around?
No, it was all good. You know, we were all kind of mutual friends. I still see them around town every once in a while. We kind of did our thing every once in a while, and pretty soon just kind of lost contact.
Uh-huh. Boy, oh, boy. Well, Brian, thank you for that story.
Yeah, thank you, Dad.
Appreciate the
Keep
call,
doing
son.
what you're doing.
I will, no doubt about it. 1-800-5800-TOM. It's John on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
How you doing, Tom?
I'm okay, John.
Good. Good to hear. Okay. Me and one of my buddies picked up this girl one night from a party. He had known her for a while. He takes her back, takes her V-card. The next night, I take her back. I take her backdoor V-card. The next night, it's the three of us just going at it. You know, nothing between me and him, but she couldn't get enough. And then to end it all, I stopped out of the relationship and got with her sister.
With her sister?
Yes, and then me and this guy, we'd take it down a few more, you know, after that, later on. We kind of, you know, just use each other's wingmen, and then just...
So each of you was doing the girl and her sister? The two of you were doing the girl?
No, I just did her sister. Me and him just did the girl. We did other girls later on down the road.
Yeah, but the girl and the sister know about each other.
Yes, they did.
They did, and they were okay with that.
They lived together. No, the one was pretty mad, but the other one didn't seem to mind.
That's what I'm trying to figure out. The people who are okay with this. What's going on in their head?
I don't know, Tom. I mean, me and my buddy, you know, it was our conspiracy. It was just command and conquer, I guess.
Yeah.
We just worked off each other and worked like a dream.
Sounds good to me.
Yeah.
All right, John.
Thank you.
Appreciate the call. 1-800-5800-TOM. Gina on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Hello, Tom.
Hello, Gina.
I won't ask you how you are. I know you're doing fine. You're running your own show.
I am.
So, I'm calling today because I also dated two guys, and they were best friends.
Dude, and they knew about each other.
They sure did.
So how did you work that out?
Well, I actually met them both when my friend and I were driving somewhere, and we picked them up hitchhiking. And I started dating one of them, and then it just happened. I just started dating the other one, too.
What do you mean wait a minute. What do you mean it just happened?
Well, they lived very close to one another, and I went over to one of their house, and he wasn't home. And it was kind of a long drive, so I just went across the street to his friend's house, and he was pretty cute, and then one thing led to the next, and we told the other guy.
And he was okay with it?
Yeah, they were both fine with it.
So you were dating them both, like, one on one night and one another night, or did it end up as a threesome?
No threesome. It was one at a time.
Yeah, did they ever both want you on the same night?
They never voiced that. Yeah, no.
So you didn't have to double shift or anything?
No.
Wow. Now, wasn't that weird when you realized what was going on? Did you think that was a little strange?
Well, it wasn't something that happened to me before, but it didn't seem strange while it was going on.
I mean, this has never happened to me before. I've been with best friends, girls who are best friends, but they never told each other.
Well, these are two guys, and you know, I think guys are going to take a different attitude about it just because they're guys.
So that's what you think it is.
Well?
So you think guys are the ones who don't mind sharing?
Yeah, because it wasn't a serious for any of us. For, you know, nobody thought of...
I understand that, but again, when it's not a serious relationship, I date various people, but none of them know about the others.
And often it is that way when I date. But in this case, it was just, we met them at the same time. I actually wanted to be with the one that I met. I wanted to be with the other guy first, but I just happened to get with the other one.
Yeah, and did these guys ever ask questions, each one about the other?
Oh, yeah.
What do they ask? What do they want to know?
Well, they want to, you know, rate each other. How do I stack up compared to him?
Really?
Yeah.
Which one was better?
Do I have to name names?
No, the first one or the second one?
The second one.
The second one was better.
Yeah.
So he's the first one you had sex with, but he was the second one you were interested in.
I'm sorry, repeat that?
The second one you had sex with, or the second one you were interested in? Like, which guy are you talking about? The guy you had sex with first, or the guy you had sex with second?
Second.
All right. So
The one I had sex with second was the one that I was interested in first.
That's what I was asking. Okay. And did you tell the truth?
Did I tell the truth? No, of course I didn't.
No. Each one was the best.
Of course I told them they were the best, you know.
They were both the best.
Yeah.
And do you think they talked to each other about that?
Sure did. I'm sure they did. Because they were best friends. You know, how are you going to handle that right there?
What kind of best friend is that? What kind of best friend is that who has sex with the chick who's interested in you?
The kind that doesn't really care because they're not having a serious relationship anyway. And then sex.
Yeah.
And, oh, yeah, they probably said, oh, yeah, wow.
Wow. Unbelievable. Thanks a lot for the call.
1-800-5800-TOM. 1-800-5800-866.
Why can't, someone court a person anymore? It's all about getting in their pants.
It is all about getting in their pants, dear. And you know what? For men, it always has been.
The Tom Leykis Show.
Leykis Show. 1-800-5800-TOM is our telephone number. Ever been dating two people at the same time who are like best friends or siblings? They each know about the other? They each know about the other. Zach on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Hello, Tom.
Hello, Zach.
How you doing?
Do you care?
I just lost my voice.
Oh, boy.
Anyway, I was going to tell you, about 3 years back, I hooked up with this chick, went out with her a couple times, and then started going out with her stepsister. We all went out together and hung out. It was a good time. Well, apparently her stepsister had a little interest, too, and one night we all went back to my place and got it on. So there,
Wait, you got it on together?
we got it on together.
But you didn't date separately?
No, not separately. But here's the kicker. The third time it happened, we videotaped it. The one sister held the video camera while, I did the deed.
No.
And needless to say, I don't know where that videotape is today.
Wow.
Yeah.
Now, when the three of you were together, were these two sisters all over each other?
Yeah, it was. It was absolutely amazing. I mean, the thing is, and you're talking about this right now. I had a streak for 3 years of doing this. I mean, and all you have to do is be cool. Just be cool, and it is so easy to land two chicks. I mean, you play it cool, act like it's not a big deal. Next thing you know, Tom, I could go on for hours and talk about sisters and cousins and best friends and girls that work together, girls I worked with. I know that's breaking one of the rules, but it's one of those things, man. You just roll with it. A lot of guys try to land it right off the bat, and you can't do that. You got to kind of slide in there. No pun intended.
I understand.
But yeah, I'm still waiting to see if I see that video on the internet.
Oh boy, sounds like you could recreate it from your head.
I got quite a I got quite a little collection myself. Me and Dino were talking about that when I first called in.
I'll bet you have.
I got my archive.
Zach, thank you very much for the call. It's Julie on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Hi, Tom. I'm so happy to talk to you.
As well you should be, dear.
Well, I actually have a couple situations.
Well, yeah, okay, that's one. Well, you're right. That's two. 1-800-5800-TOM is our telephone number. Lewis on the Tom Leykis Show.
Tom, how you doing? My father had never had.
Okay, Lewis.
Well, let me start off. I dated two sisters. They both knew about it. We used to go out together. Unfortunately, I was never able to land both of them at the same time. They were into the sister-sister thing. As far as it would go, was just groping.
How did it happen? I mean, like, you dated one at first.
Well, no, the clincher is they're, I can't say, I guess you can say they're second cousins.
Oh, so they're not sisters?
No, they're my second cousin.
Oh, they're your second cousins?
They're married into the family.
All right.
So I started going out with one. The sister would always hang around because their parents wouldn't let one go without the other. We used to go out, just have a few drinks. Before you know it, I'm kissing one, kissing the other one. Both knew, they didn't care, and so forth. Unfortunately, we're never into the sister thing.
Really?
I would sleep with both of them separate, and they would get off. They would always get off by me telling them what I did with the sister.
Really?
And I don't think it'll be something that'll ever happen again.
So the first time you went out with the second sister, the first sister knew about it?
The first sister knew about it.
Why didn't the first sister want to go out with you that time?
And she wasn't the one that I was interested at first. I was more into the older sister.
Right.
Okay, but the little sister had to go with us, but she was like 2 years younger, so we had to drag her along with us.
Uh-huh. So, but the thing is, all right, where was when I say the first and the second, I don't mean in age. I mean the first one you were with, followed by the second one you were with. Okay.
Okay.
So the second one may have been the older one, for example, or the younger one. But the point is, all right, so you were dating the first one.
Okay.
And then why didn't the second one, when you wanted to date the second one, where was the first one?
No, it's not that I wanted to date the second one. The second one actually just, while I was kissing the first one, she got me from my face, turned me around, and started kissing me.
All right, so the three of you were there together?
We were always together.
Always together. So when you had sex with one sister, the other was there?
She would be there, but she would step outside if we were in the car, or if we were in the room, she'll step out of the room.
She'd step out to let you two have your privacy?
Exactly.
And did you ever do them one after the other?
Same night. Most of the time, that's the way it was.
Really?
They would just never wanted to be together, though. I couldn't get them to do it.
But they would each respect the other's privacy?
Apparently so.
And they didn't get jealous?
No, like I said.
I gotta wonder how common this is. This is amazing.
I don't know. It was something, like I said, it wasn't like I planned it. It just happened. I don't think if I would have planned it would have happened any better.
All right, so here you are, the luckiest man in the world. Why did it stop?
This was back in Texas. I moved to California.
So you had to give them both up?
I had to give both of them up.
Ever hear from them again?
Whenever I go down there, I see them. Fortunately, I think they each have like 3 kids each, so I don't want to mess with that, though.
Oh, okay.
So
I see. Do they ever try?
They've asked. When I go down there, they always ask if I'm up for drinks, but I try to stay away from that.
And they're married?
They're married. As far as I know, they're still married with 3 kids each.
But they don't mind that they're married if you come to town?
I've never tried, but I don't see why they would.
Wow. Just checking. All right, Lewis.
Okay.
Thank you for the call. Sabrina on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Hi, this is Sabrina.
I know, I just said that.
Okay. My situation is about 10 years ago, I'm married, and my husband took me out on my birthday with a bunch of friends in a limo. And at the end of the night, we dropped off everyone except one person, which was his best friend. And we went and parked at a park. And my husband, he told me, happy birthday. His buddy was still in the limo. And he closed the door, and we went at it. So my husband was outside of the limo while me and his best friend were going at it. And that was my present.
And did it go on from there?
We continued for 4 years.
4 years?
4 years, yeah, after
So
that.
how did you decide which one you were going to be with on a given night?
Well, one is my husband. I had to be with him every night.
Was he your husband at the time?
Yeah.
So this has been happening while you've been married?
Well, this happened, yeah. My husband the guy would come over like every night almost, every other night, maybe 5 times a week. And his family was getting suspicious, like, is he gay? Why doesn't he have a girlfriend for 4 years? And it was because he was seeing me, too. But my husband wouldn't let it go on unless he was present. He wouldn't let me and the guy go out together, or he would always have to be there when it
So
was...
he had to watch?
Yeah, he had to watch. And it was his best friend. And he said that's why he did it, because he loves his best friend and he loves me.
Wow, that's love. And did your husband...
He was jealous.
So he's watching. Did he, like, pull his shorts off or anything while he watched?
He was really jealous because right away, like, he found out that he was... So that made him jealous. So he would always tell me, you know, you can do this as long as you want. You just can't be with him on your own.
Wow.
But it's really, it happens more often than you think. You know, when I was 16 years old, my friend, I went to go visit her for the summer, and she had a boyfriend. Well, he would always, like, try to hold my hand without her knowing, like, when we go to the show and stuff. And he'd sit in the middle, and then he started telling her, hey, I want to date your friend, too. And so she kind of didn't have nothing to say about it because he was a little, like, aggressive in their relationship, and whatever he said goes. So he actually pushed it on her that he was going to see me also. So I was seeing him, and she was seeing him also, and she knew that I would see him, but she would never want the three of us to get together because he would always ask for that. But he would be with both of us every night.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
So how did it end?
How did it end? Well, it was a summer thing. I had to go back to my town where I lived, and that's how it ended. She continued on seeing the guy for a couple of years, and I tried to stay away because I really valued my friendship, even though I did that with her. But I wanted to keep the friendship with her rather than with him because I had my own things going on. And actually, this year I'm married 20 years now, and I'm seeing 3 other guys besides my husband.
And your husband knows about it?
He knows about them, and every time he catches me, I'm like, okay, I won't see them anymore. I'm seeing a 21-year-old guy, I'm seeing a 27-year-old, and I'm seeing a 36-year-old guy, and my husband's 41.
Wow. And he's okay with this?
Not really, no. Not really. Every time he catches me having a new boyfriend, he's always like, stop doing that, and I tell him, okay, I will stop.
Oh,
and
yeah.
I get somebody else.
Yeah, well, you know how much authority he has. And does he ever see other people?
I always try to encourage him to.
Why do you need to be married, if I may ask?
What's that?
Why do you need to be married?
Because we have 3 kids.
Oh, wow.
And yes, they are all his. I had him before I started, like, seeing other guys and stuff.
Oh, my God.
Tom Leykis. 1-800-5800-TOM. 1-800-5800-866.
You know the definitions of the word slut and the word bitch, right?
No.
A slut is anyone who's had more sex than I've had. You know what a bitch is?
What's that?
A bitch is a slut who'll sleep with everybody but me.
The Tom Leykis Show.
Tom Leykis Show. It's 1-800-5800-TOM. Gilbert, hello.
Hello?
Yes.
What's up, Tom?
Just the ratings and my paycheck, Gilbert.
Oh, man. First-time caller. You're a great man. You're like the second dad I never had.
Yes, that's 2 you haven't had now.
Oh, man, it's nice to hear your voice.
I know.
I'm just driving here listening to all these crazy stories, but it doesn't compare to the one I have, and it's about my parents.
Uh-huh.
Basically, my parents were married for 24 years, and they got divorced, and then all of a sudden, she pops up with a boyfriend after the divorce, wants to remarry my dad. My dad proposes back to her, says, yeah, I want to remarry. Doesn't want to marry her boyfriend because he's too old.
How old are your mom and dad?
my mom is about 52, my dad's about 56, and this boyfriend of hers is about, like, 68. But the problem I'm having and trying to understand, and now that they're remarried, about a year ago, they remarried in Vegas. I went down there. The only person was missing was his boyfriend because I thought it was over.
Oh, man.
The Tom Leykis Show.